If you follow any of Neville Goddard's works, his lectures often talk about thinking from your manifestation goal rather than just thinking of what you want to manifest. When we do this, we are thinking from the solution rather than from the problem. In this video, I'm going to teach you a great technique for using your imagination to do just this. Our imaginations are extremely powerful when it comes to manifesting our lives intentionally and using the law of attraction in our favor. When we channel our minds through the use of our imagination, we bridge the conscious mind with the subconscious mind, which effectively allows us to create solutions that may have once been elusive to just the conscious mind on its own. Using our imaginations intentionally also heightens personal development and strengthens our mental faculties. Additionally, this is how we learn new things, and you can see this easily if you observe young children playing. When playing or doing something through the use of their imagination, children are completely in tune with their creativity, which is also directly related to the subconscious mind and the spiritual essence. This is why it's fun to play. In moments where we play and we're having fun, we're tuned into the authentic nature of ourselves. And imagination plays an enormous role in our playing and the way in which we manifest our lives. But our imaginations are not rational, so structuring them to be so for specific manifestation can be a bit of a challenge. In fact, with intentional manifestation, we kind of need to let them run free a bit initially so we can observe what they're doing. And in doing so, we can find any subconscious resistance that's blocking us from our manifestations, while also doing a little modification that lines us up beautifully with what we want. This assists in thinking from it and not of it, or from the solution rather than from the problem. And this creates dynamic manifestation results. Here's how to do it. A great way to get started with this process is by putting yourself into a creative space first. For example, you could paint a picture, complete a craft, or write a story down in your journal. Anything that you enjoy doing that's creative will work great, as this is when you're allowing your imagination to flow freely. This will prime your mind to reach into the depths of your subconscious for its inherent creative abilities and open you up to your creative consciousness. We don't have to do these types of creative things the right way, so this type of activity tunes you into the rewards of your imagination and taps you into your creative faculties so you can begin to make them stronger. Once you open up your creativity, you can begin to build momentum in your manifestation endeavors. Committing to the creative process and expanding your mind in this way is always the first step. You can go straight to visualization to do this, but I recommend coming from an open creative space where you're feeling relaxed and ready to flow first if you're able to. And if you choose creative writing to get into your creative space, this is a great way to prime your mind for the next step, which is this. Once your conscious mind and your subconscious mind are collaborating creatively in this way, think of something that you'd like to manifest in your life and allow yourself to become immersed in that within your imagination. Then declare your intention about this desire in present tense and begin to visualize it. For instance, I'm now in the new home of my dreams within my imagination. I am walking through all of the different spaces in this scene, taking in the sights, sounds, and textures of it all. As you begin to envision the details of what you choose to manifest, it's very important to begin to examine the thoughts and the emotions that you have about this. Don't try to edit in this part of the process, but just let your mind run freely so you can examine it. And then notice if anything feels tense. In other words, if your thoughts and therefore your emotions that come up indicate or feel like lack, fear, or impatience, where your manifestation is concerned, this will be resistance coming from the belief system stored in your subconscious mind. Resistance often occurs because the subconscious mind is protecting you in some way. For instance, it may be keeping you safe from rejection and/or hurt, and that will show up as a thought such as this: I could never have this house. Or, this house is great, but I'm not the type of person who would ever be able to figure out how to get it. Whatever rejection shows up for you in your thoughts and feelings at this stage of your imaginary play is the rejection of your manifestation goal that your subconscious mind is using that blocks you from it. So from this space, we can recognize the resistance, and that's what must be changed and/or released to open you up to the new experience in your life. You can begin to do this by setting a new intention to release this resistance, and then affirm in the opposite way of the resistance, and then find things to appreciate about this subject. For instance, let's use the example of the home again. If your intention is to manifest the home of your dreams, and you think, I could never have this house because I don't have the money for it, let your mind move above and beyond this thought and the emotions that go with it. One of my favorite tools for this is to imagine something like resistance, which is a thought that I don't prefer or a feeling state that I don't prefer, as a weight attached to my ankle, and then seeing myself cut that weight off with a large set of bolt cutters as I freely move away from it. You may even choose to affirm something like this: I have now moved beyond this resistance, and I'm grateful for this manifestation in my mind. Thank you, mind, for protecting me, but I no longer need your protection in this area of my life. It is safe to release the resistance and experience this. I love how I can experience this in my mind and create positively loving and joyous feelings within me by doing so. After you have visualized releasing the resistance through the use of your imagination, you can then set a new intention to affirm in the opposite way of the resistance. For example, of course I can have this house. I'm worthy and deserving of it. I have created it in my mind, and all creation starts in the mind. It is already mine, and by universal law, I will be guided to this home in the easiest and most effortless way. Each time resistance comes up in the form of a thought or a feeling state that tells you why you cannot have this manifestation, it's super important to go back and do the revision by releasing the resistance and then affirming in the opposite manner. And then after you do this, you're going to want to move your mind to gratitude and appreciation by finding things to appreciate about this particular subject. For instance, if your intention is to manifest a new home, use your awareness to search for anything that you can appreciate about this home in your imagination. As you bring these things to mind one by one, notice them each individually and admire their qualities. Don't think about having this thing, just think about the positive qualities of it so you begin to shift your brain and your subconscious mind in a different direction. And bathe yourself in that appreciation for just a few moments. As you do this, you're going to begin to immerse yourself in the feelings of appreciation, thinking from the manifestation rather than of the manifestation. You may want to affirm further by saying something like this: with just the use of my mind and a little practice, I am able to change the way I feel about this. Then reintroduce the thought of having this manifestation. The more you do this, the more momentum your manifestation will have to make its way to you. And I recommend using this process for about 20 to 30 minutes each day. Creation begins in the mind. Our beliefs create our reality. And when you learn to let your resistance go and think from your manifestation rather than of your manifestation, and become fully at peace and with a heart consumed with gratitude for what you've created in your mind, you tap fully into your creative power to manifest more abundance in your life. You're always creating what is referred to as the future in your present moment. If you can think of it now, it's already yours. You can immerse yourself in the feelings of it, thinking from the solution, and in doing so, you will manifest it as your reality.